Hello, this is Laura. Let me start with a simple question. How many times have you said to yourself, "Tomorrow I will start, tomorrow I will wake up early, tomorrow I will study, tomorrow I will change my life," and then tomorrow comes and nothing changes? If this feels familiar, please listen carefully. This episode is not about motivation. Motivation comes and goes. This episode is about discipline. And discipline quietly changes everything. Most people think discipline is strict, cold, hard. But real discipline is gentle. It is calm, and it is deeply personal. Discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. And that one choice can completely change your life. Let's be honest for a moment. Life does not change in big moments. It changes in small, repeated decisions. What time you wake up, how you spend 1 hour, whether you continue or stop. Discipline lives in those moments. And here's something important. Discipline is not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. You don't need to do everything. You just need to do something every day. Many people wait to feel ready, to feel confident, to feel motivated. But discipline does not wait for feelings. Discipline shows up even when energy is low, even when mood is heavy, even when progress feels slow. And slowly, that consistency builds trust with yourself. Self-trust is powerful. When you trust yourself, you feel calmer, more stable, more confident. Discipline builds that trust. Let's talk about habits. Your life today is the result of habits you repeated yesterday, and your future is being shaped by what you repeat today. Discipline turns actions into habits. Habits turn effort into ease. At first, discipline feels uncomfortable, but later, it feels natural. And one day, you realize your life has changed, not suddenly, quietly. Now, let me say something important. Discipline is not punishment. It is not forcing yourself to suffer. It is self-respect. When you keep promises to yourself, your mind feels safe. When you break promises to yourself, your mind feels disappointed. Discipline is a way of saying, "I matter," and that changes how you see yourself. If you're listening and thinking, "I'm not disciplined," I want you to pause. Discipline is not something you are born with. It is something you practice, one small decision at a time, one day at a time. Even 5 minutes a day can change direction. Let me ask you something gently. What is one small habit that could improve your life? Not a big goal, not a perfect plan, just one small habit. Discipline begins there. If this is connecting with you, I invite you to do something simple. Write in the comments one habit you want to build, not to impress anyone, just to make it real. And if you're finding value in this podcast, please like the episode and subscribe to the channel. This space is for people who want slow, real growth. In the next part, we'll talk about why discipline feels difficult and how to build it without pressure or guilt. Stay with me. This is Laura, and your life can change one disciplined step at a time. Hello again. This is Laura. If you're still here, that already tells something important. You are someone who wants to grow. In part 1, we talked about what discipline really is. Now let's talk about why discipline feels so difficult for so many people. Discipline feels hard because it asks you to be present. It asks you to choose long-term comfort over short-term pleasure. And in a world full of distractions, that is not easy. Your mind naturally wants comfort. It wants rest. It wants easy rewards. There is nothing wrong with that. But when comfort becomes a habit, progress slows down. Discipline is learning how to feel comfortable with a little discomfort. Just a little. You don't need to suffer. You just need to stay. Let's talk about fear. Many people avoid discipline because they're afraid of failing, so they don't start. But discipline is not about success. It's about showing up. Even imperfect effort counts. Even slow progress matters. When you stop judging yourself, discipline becomes lighter. Another reason discipline feels difficult is because people try to change everything at once. That creates pressure. Pressure creates resistance, and resistance kills discipline. Real discipline grows slowly. One habit, one routine, one small promise. And once that becomes natural, you add another. This is how discipline becomes sustainable. Let's talk about identity. Discipline becomes easier when it becomes part of who you are. Instead of saying, I want to be disciplined, you begin to say, I am someone who shows up. That shift is powerful. You don't force behavior. You live it. Now let's talk about environment. Your environment affects discipline more than willpower. If your environment is distracting, discipline feels heavy. If your environment supports your goals, discipline feels natural. Small changes matter. A quiet space, a clear desk, a routine time. These things help your mind focus. Now I want to talk about something important. Discipline without compassion leads to burnout. You don't need to punish yourself for missing a day. You don't need guilt. Discipline grows best when it is kind. When you miss a day, you simply return. No drama, no self-criticism, just return. That's discipline. If you're listening and thinking, I want discipline, but I feel tired, remember this. Rest and discipline work together. Rest supports discipline. Discipline protects rest. Balance matters. Before we end this part, let me ask you something. What usually stops you from staying consistent? Is it fear? Is it tiredness? Is it distraction? Just notice it. Awareness is the first step. If this episode is helping you, I invite you to write one sentence in the comments about what discipline means to you right now. And if you want more calm, meaningful English podcasts, like this episode and subscribe to the channel. In the final part, we'll talk about how discipline changes your future, how it builds confidence, stability, and freedom over time. Stay with me. This is Laura, and discipline is not control. It is care. Welcome back. This is Laura. This is the final part of our conversation about discipline. And in this part, let's talk about what discipline gives you over time. Because discipline is not about control. It is about freedom. When you are disciplined, your life feels less chaotic. Your mind becomes calmer. Your decisions become clearer. You stop reacting to everything. You start choosing. Discipline creates structure, and structure creates peace. Let's talk about confidence. Confidence does not come from motivation. It comes from evidence. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you collect proof. Proof that you can trust yourself. Proof that you can continue. And slowly, self-doubt loses its power. Discipline builds quiet confidence, the kind that doesn't need approval. Now let's talk about freedom. This may sound surprising, but discipline gives freedom. When habits are strong, decisions become easier. You waste less energy. You feel less stress. Your life feels lighter because you are no longer negotiating with yourself every day. Discipline removes inner conflict, and inner peace follows. Now let's talk about the future. Your future self is being created by what you do today, not by big decisions, but by small ones. Discipline shapes your character, and character shapes your destiny. Even when results are slow, discipline is working, even when no one notices. Discipline is building something strong inside you. Let's talk about setbacks. Setbacks do not cancel discipline. They are part of it. Missing a day does not erase progress. Quitting does. Discipline teaches you to return without shame. That is real strength. If you've been waiting for the perfect moment, this is it. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today. Start small. one habit, one action, one promise, and repeat. That is how lives change. Before we end, I want you to reflect. Think about the person you want to become, not in a year, not in 5 years, just a little better than today. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you want to be. If this podcast has helped you, I invite you to do 3 simple things. First, write in the comments one promise you want to keep for yourself. Second, like this episode so it can reach someone who needs it. And third, subscribe to the channel to continue growing together. This podcast is a safe space for real growth. No pressure, no perfection. Thank you for listening. Thank you for staying. This is Laura, and remember this: small disciplined actions done daily change everything.